नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः श्रीगणेशशारदागुरुभ्यो नमः आश्रमः that is the first name. There are two words there, a and sramaha. A is a prefix. You can also say visramaha. Here it means that. So earlier this word ashrama has come. There they meant varnashrama. Varnashramaha means it is for dharma vibhaga. So you want to make sure what your duties are. For that, a person is divided up as to which ashrama he belongs to. Whether he belongs to Grihastha ashrama or Brahmacharya ashrama. So as a son you have a duty, but it is starkly opposite to what you have as a father. So ashrama dharmas remain. In that sense they had used the word ashrama before. Here they are using the ashrama in the sense visrama. There the word ashrama meant shrama until a. Like a means what? End. A means moksham. Alayam. Alayad riddhihi aratihi. So how long you do arati? How long you say that? Memur kalikami. Till you get moksha. Or till you get rati. Rati is what? Bhakti. Till you get bhakti, you keep doing the karma. Similarly, asramaha also, you do the srama. Srama means exertion, physical exertion. All the abhyasa you perform, the kriyas you do. So many different kinds of kriyas are there depending upon the adhikari. So whatever you are qualified for, you pick up that kriya. If you are on the earth, you cannot fly. You have to start from where you are. Bhagavan is everywhere. He is there in the sky. Bhuvaha, Suvaha, everywhere he is available. But wherever you are, from there you start. You have to go to the karana from the karya. And what is the karya? Wherever you are. And that effort is called sramaha. Till when? Till moksham. In that sense, that srama means dharmacharanam. Dharmacharanam is always srama. Getting up in the morning at 4:30. If you don't do that extra srama, your actions are not going to turn into dharma. Nidra, bhayam, aharam, it's all there for all creatures. They are all wired because of instinct. Naturally, you have hunger, so you go and hunt. And when you hunt, you see a lion, and because of fear, you take the flight. And then you want to rest, you rest. All these are common for all creatures. But if you had to break the cycle, you have to do some srama. Srama means what? Vichara. You have to think and act. And that you have to do until that dharmacharanam. That is called srama. In the earlier sense, ashrama there. Till that point where you become free. That is the meaning of a.
So it's like the Latin words ad infinitum, ad nauseam, ad libitum. This a is seemingly like that.
Yes. A means until.
Until. Right.
So there ashrama meant varnashrama dharma. Here ashrama means simple effort. There is no human beings involved here. Every single creature who is undergoing sramam. Sramam means difficulty. For him, for those people, Vishnu is ashrama. Ashrama means a hermitage. Like a big tree, ashram. Like an inn, holiday inn. In olden times, there is a holiday inn. Wherever you go, you'll find an ashram. Olden times, when you walk, you find an ashram. And who is that ashrama Vishnu? That's what he writes. Sarvesham samsara aranye brahmatam visramasthanam ashramaha. Ashramaha means visramaha. So generally people who are brahmatam, who are traveling, who are roaming, where aranye, in the forest part, they need a rest. When it is sunset, they need a ashrama, visramasthanam. So we are also like moving up and down. And that is called samsara. What is samsara? Samsara is the wrong thinking that you are outside of you. Your happiness exists somewhere else. That is called samsara. And because of that thinking, you go out of you. You keep traveling. And then you get tired. After getting tired, where do you go? You go to ashrama. Where is that ashrama? In your own heart. That is why even the fierce atheist, Rajneeshwari or communist, whoever it is, all those people also need sleep. Why? Only in sleep they get ashrama. All their sramas are forgotten when they go back to sleep. So Visramasthana means Sushuptihi. What is the meaning of Visramasthana? Sushupti. And that Sushupti is Mahavishnu. That's the meaning of Ashramaha. That's what he is leading to. Sarvesham samsararanye brahmatam Visramasthanam. Visramasthanatvad. Because he is the Visramasthanam, he is called Ashramaha. The next one is Sramanaha. So he writes, Avivekinaha sarvan santapayati. Sramanaha means one who gives srama. One who takes srama upon himself. The Jains are also called Sramana. Because they take a lot of difficulty. They don't go to the barber, they just pull their hair out. Very difficult lifestyle. They just pull it out. They are called Sramanakaha. So Sramanaha means one who gives difficulty, either to himself or to others. So whom does Vishnu give Srama? Avivekinam. People who are thoughtless. Why they are thoughtless? Because they are not capable. It's not their fault. It's not their fault that they are avivekis. Why? Because the Shaiva Purana says, Ajño jantuhu anishanaha atmanaha sukha dukkhayoho. Jantuhu or jiva is ajñaha. He is ignorant. He does not have all the manuals with him. He only has the problems. The solutions he does not have. Why? Because he is ajñaha. Especially about his dukkham and sukham. What kind of problem he will get into, he doesn't know. How to get happiness, that also he doesn't know. The jiva does not know. Ishvara pririto gechet, swargam va narakam eva va. Only by the prerana of Ishvara, he goes to a pleasant situation which is called naraka, swarga, or naraka, an unpleasant situation. So swarga and naraka is attained by Jantu, not by his intelligence. He doesn't know. But Ishvara preritaha. That is why we ask for prerana. What is the Gayatri mantra? Prachodayat. Yo devas savitasmakam dhiyo dharmadi gojaraha prerayet. That prerana is needed. Tasya tadvargaha tadvarenyam upasmahe. You get up early in the morning before the sun and look at him and chant this, the Gayatri mantra. Why? So that you will get the right prerana. So that through that prerana is available.
Prerna is thought. What is prerna?
Prerana means inspiration. Prerana means motivation. That is the very definition of dharma. Dharma means chodana lakshanaha, prerana lakshanaha. Prerana from where? From Vedic statements, not from a Buddhist statements. Buddha also will say ahimsa paramo dharma. But if you derive prerana from Vedas, then you are called a Vaidika. Then you are called an Astika. Why? Because Buddhists, they don't believe in Asti. They believe in Nasti. So that is the very definition of dharma. One who gets motivation. See, in life, you need authority. Either you need somebody to tell you, go and get that. If you don't, nobody tells you, you don't get it. You are here in America because of higher studies. Why did you do higher studies? Somebody told you. So every single action is because of pramana. What is pramana? Authority. So if this authority is accepted deliberately, that is known as curiosity. Because you are curious, you understand and get it. But if it is gotten by instinct, because by instinct you get Just watching a TV show, you pick up ideas. So they are all called kashaya, unconscious traveling of the mind, manorajyam or manoratham. That is why we are cutting it with vichara. What we do in Bhagavatam or Bharatam or any scripture, you do vichara of that mind's path and you cut it and you dissect it. So that is the role of Shastra, that is the role of Veda. The Veda tells you what is the proper order, what is the proper krama. Even if you don't follow that krama, you will know by some means. And then you will wish, and then you will act. Ichhashakti, Jnanashakti, Kriyashakti, that is not going to change. But when you go deliberately and learn it from the Veda, when you do it from the Veda, then Bhagavan will do the prerana. Why? Because who wrote the Vedas? Nobody wrote it. It is Nishvasitam Vedaha. Vedas are Nitya and they always stay with Vishnu. So the prerana comes from Bhagavan when you become a Vaidika. Even if you are not a Vaidika, ultimately the knowledge goes back to Bhagavan. It comes through various sources, but they are all not proper. That is why we have to add Naraka. When Bhagavan says something and it is misinterpreted, and then you read it, and then you go to Naraka. So ultimately Bhagavan becomes the cause of Naraka also. That is why he is called Narakantaka. Naraka Chaturdashi, what is he called? Narakantaka. Narakantaka means one who ends the Naraka. So Ishvara Preritaha, only by motivated by Ishvara, the Jentu who is Alpajna, who does not know, who does not have the big vision, who does not have the knowledge of entire Jagat, he has to be Prerita by Ishvara. For his bhaktas, he will do prerana for Sarga. And for people without Viveka, for him what will he do? He will become a Sramanaha, as though he is giving Srama. It is only a perspective of the person. The child is playing in the dust. The mother becomes very compassionate. She will tell her that I will give you ice cream or something and get him in. And if the child does not want to come, he will hate the mother. So the child will think as though the mother is giving him Srama. So for that child, the mother will become Sramanaha. Like that. Like that, Vishnu is Sramanaha for Avivekinam. Because he is Santapeti, he gives them displeasure. That is why he is called as Sramanaha. For the same person, it is Srama and Sramana. The same person gives restfulness and difficulties. That is because of your perspective. You go with him, then it is Visrama. You don't want to follow Dharma because you are an Aviveki, you don't follow the law, and then he becomes Sramanaha. The next one is Kshamaha, Asramaha, Sramanaha, Kshamaha. The word Kshama is used in the sense of famine. Becomes famished, the lands. That is in colloquial language. But in Sanskrit, Kshamaha means emaciated, fatigued. When you don't get food, you become Kshamaha. So when you don't eat, you become Kshamaha. Shankara writes Kshinaha. Kshinaha means emaciated, tired. So he makes Sarvaha Prajaha Kshinaha Karoti iti Kshamaha. He makes everyone tired. Then Suparnaha. Suparnaha means Samsaraha. Parnaha means leaf. The Gita we have it. Chandam siyasya parnani. This entire world is seen as samsara vriksham. And what does the vriksham have? Vriksham has leaves. So what are the leaves of this samsara vriksham? Vedas. Why the Vedas are the samsara vriksham? Vriksha parnaha. Why do we need it? Veda means knowledge. So without knowledge you cannot maneuver through life. That is why Vedas are called as Parnaha. But Parnaha, which is gotten by your own thinking, is that general leaf of samsara. But Vishnu is Suparnaha. He is a leaf which is well made.
It's not gold. Suparna is not gold.
Suvarnaha. Suvarnaha is, yeah, Swarnaha.
Kshama, can I go back to
Yeah,
Kshama? Kshama is not opposite of Vriddhi,
yeah. Kshinaha means
decrease.
decrease.
Vriddhi is increase.
Pushti, yeah, it will be Pushti. You know, it is about, Pushti means increase.
Increase.
Yeah.
So how is Vishnu Shama?
Vishnu emaciates people. He just deprives them by not getting results. You keep on doing a lot, but then if you don't get the result, you get emaciated, you get tired. Because he is the Phaladata, he can stop you from getting the results. By stopping the karma phalas, he can be a kshinaha. We already got it actually. Kshamaha kshamas samihanaha. Yeah.
It's the same meaning for Kshama.
Kshamaha. Yeah. Kshinaha. Same meaning.
Is Parna also the wings of a bird? Is that also?
No, there Kshamaha meant tired. Here Kshamaha means Prajaha karoti means it is a doing. Doing means pralayam. So that is the meaning, that is the difference between that Kshamaha and this Kshamaha. Here karoti means do. Doing tiredness means what? Resolving. He resolves everybody into himself. Just like every day night, where do you go? You disappear for 8 hours. Then you come back. So you disappeared in Laya. And that is done by Vishnu. It is a consciousness which pulls you back. You means the ego. The ego is pulled back by who? By Kshamaha, by Vishnu. So that is the meaning here. There is a difference between this Kshamaha and that Kshamaha.
So this is in accordance with the ashrama. Ashrama is also similar to Kshama here.
Ashramaha means one who gives restfulness. Yeah. Kshamaha means one who completely. So ashramaha is like everyday night. Kshamaha is when your life is over.
Final line.
Okay. Suparnaha. Parnaha means leaf. Leaf means knowledge here. Veda. So knowledge, without knowledge we cannot maneuver through samsara. It is not possible to travel through samsara, life. So we need Suparnaha, well thought out knowledge. That Suparnaha is who? Vishnu.
Can I ask a question? Is Suparna also the wings of a bird?
Yeah.
It's also called wing.
Parnaha means wings. Patatiti Parnaha. Anything that falls is a Parna. The leaf keeps falling. The wings also falls. So Suparnaha is the name of Garuda. Suparnaha is the name of Garuda.
But how does leaf help you navigate the...
Leaf means, it's a figurative speech. Chandamsi yasya parnani urdhvamulam adashakam ashwatham prahuravyayam. Ayam samsaraha prahuhu ashwatham. This samsara is called a banyan tree. It's a figurative expression. The world is expressed as a huge tree. Why the world is expressed as tree? Because it has several branches. You have mother-in-law, you have father-in-law, you have neighbors, you have ministers, society, you have mind, you have intellect. So many branches are there. It keeps on branching out. It's not going to end. It's going to progress. Keep on progressing. That is why it's samsara. So, I am samsaraha ashwataha. It is like this is not a puny little apple cider tree. It is like a huge banyan tree. It can really go, the roots will go far away. And all banyan trees will have what? Leaves. So, why you always recognize a tree with the leaves? So, that is knowledge. So, the world is known through Parna. So you cannot really go and ask whether he did PhD. So you just go and ask a question and see what is his accent. Is he from Kerala? Can you believe him? All that you do. So you just take one Parna. Take one leaf. With one leaf, you know the entire tree. The entire samsara will be known with one leaf. I cannot really tell why Veda calls it tree, but that's what it says. Chandamsi yasya parnani. Chandamsi means Veda. Chandas means Veda. Chandas is actually a Vedanga. Veda has got 6 angas. Vyagaranam, Chandas, Niruktam. Chandas means the meter, the way you chant it. Anushtup Chandaha, Jagadi Chandaha. So without that you cannot say it. In all languages you have got it. So that is why it is called Chandas. Because that is the distinct feature of Veda. Just like you distinguish one tree from another tree with the Parna, you distinguish one Veda from another Veda with the Chandas. If you say Agnimi, Ele, Purohitam, Mitnyasya, Devam, Mrityujam, if you say it twice, it is Rigveda. If it is once, it is Yajurveda. Like that you are able to recognize the Vedas by Chandas, by the way it is said. Similarly, this Parnani, the Samsara Vriksha's Parnani, that is what gives you knowledge. But Vishnu is Suparna. He is not ordinary leaf. He is well made. Suparna means well made leaf.
There is also some Upanishad that is called like that.
What?
Like the bird, the Taittiriya Upanishad with the Parna, something like that. Right?
No, the Upanishad is called Taittiriya Upanishad.
Taittiriya
There is just a bird, Tittiri bird. Yeah, there is no Parna there.
Okay.
Yeah, Tittiri is the name of the bird. Because it came from there, it is called Taittiriya. The whole Shaka, including Brahmanas, Karmaganda, everything, including the Upanishad. It's called Taittiriya Upanishad. The Upanishads are named by the author, whoever says it. Like there is a Upanishad called Aitareya Upanishad. Itara means the other. The other means what? Pot maker. In Tamil they say Idaran. Idaran means the other one. Means they are not mainstream guys. The mainstreams are all the big shots. The other one means the pot maker. But he is a Maharshi. He understood Brahman. There is a butcher who understood Brahman. So there is this pot maker, he understood Brahman. So he is called Itaraha. Because Itara wrote it, it became Aitareya. So the author is always in the Upanishad's name. Yeah. So that's why it is Taittiriya.
This comes in the Rudram also, no? Parnyaya,
Parna.
Parnishadhyaya.
He is Parnya because they put Parna on him. The 3-petal leaf. They put it on top. That is why he is called Parnya. They put the Parna. The leaves, he likes the leaves. Vishnu is also not behind, he is also Parnya. You put Tulasi. You don't put Tulasi for Ganesha, except for Chaturthi. Normally you should not offer Tulasi. Kshamah, Kshamah, Samihnaha, Suparnaha, Suparnaha, Vayuvahanaha. So Suparna means Garuda also. Suparna is Garuda. That's why he's bringing up Hanuman now.
And Aparna was the name of Sati, right?
Aparna was the name of Sati. Parna means spinach.
She gave
What is-
up even the single leaf.
Yeah,
was eaten.
Parna means spinach, salad. What is Parna? Spinach, salad. Aparna means no, not even salad. I won't have anything. Same thing, Uma. Ma means no. U means unav. U means food. U means food. Uma, no for food. Why? She wants to have Shiva. Yeah, Shiva is Vashi. You can get him only by tapas. Unless you sit and chant Rudram 11 times. Takes only 2 hours. You'll get Shiva. So that is what she did. Without eating. That is Aparna. Vayuvahanaha. Vayuhu Vahati. Vahati means what does the breeze do?
Flow?
It flows. It blows. Or blows. Yeah. So that's called Vahanam. Vahanam means to flow. Vahati, that which is carried. So who carries the Vayu? Here it doesn't mean Hanuman or Garuda. One who carries the Vayu itself. So Hanuman का बाप वायु है, वायु का बाप परमात्मा है. Vayu Vahanaha means one who carries even Vayu. Why does the air flow? Because air needs space. Akasham. Vishnu Padam Vachyam. That Vishnu Padam, that Akasham is called Vishnu Padam. That is Vishnu. There is where what flows? The air flows. Not only that, the air flows because of fear. Air flows because of fear of Vishnu. Vair Vahati. Yad bhitya sarvani bhutani saha vayuvahana. Yad bhitya, fearing whom? Fearing which Vishnu, Vayu flows through all the bhutas. All the bhutas are alive and kicking. Why? Because Vayuhu Vahati. Vayu is the one who is carrying you. Who is carrying you? Vayu. And that is because Vishnu is the one who is prompting. Vishnu is the prerakaha for Vayuhu. That is why he is called Vayuvahanaha. Bhishasmat vatah pavate bhishodedi suryaha. That is the Veda. The Veda says that Vayuhu Bhishat pavate. Pavanaha moves because of Bhisha. He is afraid. Because of fear of Paramatma.
Is fear in this sense the same as the dharma? Because Vayu's dharma would be, right?
Fear means recognition. Fear is a good thing as long as it is your wife. See, big fears are really destabilizing. Big fears are destabilizing. Small fears are good. That makes you a dharmic person. Small fears are good. It is not disease. Fear means you are recognizing a second thing. You are scared of omission. You don't want to do something bad. That's called, there is a tinge of fear there. And whenever that fear is there, there is a second thing. Something is prompting you. So that is what makes you dutiful. It is always the patana bhiti, that is what is making you. That is why the rishis invariably they give you shapa. Why do they give shapa? They are all sarvabhuta hiderataha. They became a maharshi because they are bhaktas. They are great people, great souls. Why would you hate somebody? Because they want to put their fear in you, so that you become dharmic. So that is a very healthy fear. That is why we said that earlier. Bhayakrita. When it becomes too much, come out of the doghouse. Bhayanasanaha. Bhayakrita. Bhayana. He gets you out of fear also. So that is why he is Bhisha. He is very Bhayankaraha. It is Shrutehe. The next one is Dhanurdaraha. So Dhanuhu means bow. Dharaha means one who carries. So what does Shankara write? Sriman Ramanama Mahadhanurdharayati. Mahanama, one with great name. Sriman Ramaha. He is called Dhanurdaraha. So Vishnu's Dhanus is called what? Sharngam. Where is the name of Vishnu's Dhanus? He is called Sharngi. Sharngi means one who carries Sharngam. Sharngapani. Yeah. Shiva is called Sarangapani. Saranga means deer. Deer means the mind. The mind is very chanchala. Like the deer, it is always chanchala. And he holds it in his hand. That is why he is called as Pashupati or Mrigadhara. Vande Shambhu Mumapatim Suragurum Vande Jagatkaranam Vande Pannagabhushanam Mrigadharam. Mrigadharam means one who carries Sarangam. So he is Sarangavani, he is Sharangavani. Sharangam means the name of the bow of the. So during Ramavatara, he goes through the Agastya Ashrama during the Vanavasa. So there Agastya says, do you remember this is your Sharangam? Me who? Me Vishnu? No, I am Rama. Atmanam Manusham Manya. I am just a man, human being. I don't recognize any Sharangam. Then he says this was given to Mahavishnu by that. He tells the story to Rama. So Rama does not know. Rama has no pretense. He just carries the Dhanu because he is a king and carries on his duty. That is why Rama is Mahan. He does not have any pretense. He acts like very normal. That's why Mahan Sri Rama, he is Dhanurdharaha. Why he is Dhanurdharaha? Because he knows how to instill punishment properly. Dhanurdharaha means it's a lot of power. If you are given a AK-47, it's like if you give it to somebody, some person, then it's very dangerous. So that's why you need to know Dhanurvedaha. You have to know the proper use of Dhanus. That's why he's saying. Shankara says, Sayeva Dasaratihi Dhanurvedam Vetti. He knows the Veda. Dhanurveda is full of dharma. Danda for the sake of dharma. And also the technique, of course. If you watch that Bahubali, they'll say that all that Sanskrit words, it's all from Dhanurveda. It's a part of Yajurveda. So Dhanurvedaha means Dhanurvedam Veti. Because he knows the Dhanurveda, Vishnu is called as Dhanurvedaha. Again, that refers to Rama. Dhanurdharaha also refers to Rama. Dhanurvedaha also refers to Rama. Why Dhanurdharaha and Dhanurvedaha? Dandaha. Because he punishes the Samudra. And the Samudra refuses to part. He becomes angry. That's what he says in the Bhagavad Gita. Dando damayetamasmi. People who are fit to be controlled, fit to be punished, I am the danda, I am the punishment. That's what Krishna says. Damanam damayatam dandaha. Why dandam dashagunam bhavet? It's very easy. Rather than preaching 10 sermons, one stick and one beating, you'll go and sleep. That is the best way. That's what they say. Dandam dashagunam bhavet. The teaching will be very efficient and very easy. And Bhagavan does that properly. That's why he is dandaha. He is punishment himself. The next one is Damayita. So the reason for Dandaha is Asatpathe Vartamananam Sanmarge Pravartayitum. In order to take you from the path of adharma and put you in the proper path. So the intent is very good. Intent is progress. Otherwise you will be stuck there. You can never get off this vasana. So in order to do that, he does danda. But sometimes danda does not work. Any form of punishment, it does not work. Then he becomes damayita. When danda does not work, he becomes damayita. What is damayita? Damayita means yamaha. Why damayita is yamaha? Vaivasvata rupena praja damayati. Because Yama, when Yama punishes, then that is final. You cannot change. In the world, who is like Yama? Narendraha, the king, the law. The law is like Yama. When law says something, that is final. So either the law, Narendra means the king. Either the king or Vaivasvata, Yama, both are called as Damayita. And both of these are Vishnu's Vibhuti. Both are Vishnu's Vibhuti. An ordinary person cannot become a leader. An ordinary person cannot become leader unless he has got resources, unless he has power. Then only he can be a king. That's why they say Arudramso na Kramapati. If you don't have Shiva in you, if you don't have Rudramsha in you, you will not become a Kramapati. What is Krama? Vedai Sanga Padakramopanishadaihi. It's a way of saying Veda. So generally getting Veda is difficult. Then the Pada is even difficult. The Krama is much more difficult. So if you have to be a Krama body, then you should have Rudra's Amsha in you. Similarly, Avishnumsona Parthivaha. Parthivaha means king. A person will not become very powerful in this world if he does not have Vishnu's Amsha in him. Vishnu's Amsha means Vishnu's grace. He says, "Oh, Mr. Trump, enjoy your ride." He will give you a little bit of power. Unless that Vishnu's Amsha operates in you, you cannot become a Narendra. That is why he is saying, Vaivaswata Narendra Adi Rupena. All the other etc. etc. Whoever has powers. All those powers are Vishnu's Vibhuti. That's what he says. Yad yad Vibhuti mat Sattvam Srimat Urjitam Evava Tat tat Eva Avajaniyat Mama Tejo Amsha Sambhavam. That is because of my Teja Amsha. A little bit of my power I have given it to them. That is the reason why they are Sriman. They are powerful. So that is the meaning of Damayita. Vaivaswata Narendra Adi Rupena Praja Damayati. If ordinary people go and talk, they won't listen. Damayita means a controller. Who is Damayita? Controller. But when death talks, death and tax is certain. Because tax comes from Narendra, death comes from Vaivaswata. That is why they are Damayita. They truly can control you. That is the secret of the success of insurance industry. Little bit of advertisement. Okay. The final one is Damaha. Damayita Damaha. Damaha means Dandakaryam Phalam. Damaha means punishment. Damaha means, for us, Damaha actually means Indriya Nigraha. Indriya Nigraha means a 1 spoon shot of your regular dosage in your tea. So that is kind of a punishment. If not for you, for others. They don't want that laddu with less sweet. Because you are practicing Damaha, you are punishing everybody else. All in the family has to go with that. That's why Damaha means control, generally. Here Damaha means the result of that. Always the result of control is what? Punishment. Whether it is self-inflicted or you are inflicting it to others, always Damayita, Dama will end up in punishment. That is also him. That is also Bhagavan. So when you have less sugar next time, remember it is Vishnu, Damaha. Damyeshu Dandakaryam Phalam. Dandakaryam, that punishment is the Phalam. That Phalam is Vishnu himself. So you won't feel bad. Aparajitaha. Shatrubihi na parajitaha. He is never overcome by his enemies. That is why he is aparajitaha. Why? Because whenever you are confronting defeat in this world, that is because of a lack of skill. Why do you attain defeat in this world? Because of a lack of skill. And he does not lack in skill. And skill is always attained by practice. How do you get skill? Skill is always attained by practice. And there is no practice if you don't have tolerance, sahanatvam. That's why the next name is called Sarvasahaha. Because he can tolerate. Sarvasahaha means can tolerate. What Shankara writes is Sarva karmasu sahaha means samarthaha, competent, skillful. How did he get that skillfulness? Because of abhyasa, practice. That because of sahatva, because of tolerance. So sarva karmasu samarthaha iti sarvasahaha. Or we said aparajitaha earlier, one who cannot be overcome by Shatru. Sarva Shatrun Sahade. He will not be tired of the opponents. Ram Jethmalani, when people used to argue, he was like 85 years old. Then very young lawyers, they used to get tired. The judge used to get tired. One time the judge was looking at the clock. He said, "You are half my age and you are looking at the clock." That is called Sarva Sahaha. He is able to tolerate his opponents. That is Vishnu. That is what he said in Ramayana, Intrupoi Naleva, meaning go today and come back tomorrow. So he is giving a chance to Ravana. You look very tired. Go and have that cereal and come back. And you have 10 faces to fill up. I will wait. That is why he is called as Sarva Sahaha. Shatrubhihi, he does not get afraid by his Shatrun. Sarvan Shatrun Sahate. He tolerates them or he gives them a chance. He is very fair. And also he is more energetic. He is fair and he is more energetic. So he gives them the chance. That is why he is Sarva Sahaha. You are also Aparajita and you are also Sarva Saha. Remember that when the in-laws visit. All these qualities are in us. Niyanta. Niyanta means the controller. Sarvan sveshu krityeshu vyavasthapayati. Niyanta means one who sets up the niyati, the barriers, the boundaries. One who sets the boundaries. Everybody has got a boundary and they should not cross that boundary. 12 hours, the day should be over, and then the night. For the certain number of hours, if the night crosses the day, then people won't get up. People won't get up and the world will not be active. Similarly, all the elements, the waters have to stay where they are. 2/3 of the earth is water and they have to stay there. If they encroach the land, then there will be tsunami. So they have to stay where they are. So the elements, everything stays in their place because of Niyanta. He controls them. How does he control? In the form of order, in the form of dharma. That is why he says, Sveshu krityeshu. Kritya means kartum yogyam. What is krityam? Kartum yogyam. Krit means to do. Krityam means what you are supposed to do. Kartum yogyam. What you are supposed to do is called krityam. So everybody in this world has got a krityam. Even a retired person has a day job. Get up in the morning, prune your trees. You have to do something. If you cannot do that something, then if you are krityamless, if you are agrityaha, you will feel pointless. There is a story of a young boy, like in his 30s, he couldn't tolerate his father spending too much of time with the tree. Because he used to go and talk to the tree, water it. You know, horticultural people with green thumb, they do all sorts of things. They'll talk to the trees. They enjoy it. It's better than talking to the wife. So this boy, what he did, he said, "I'm not going to allow this." So he removed the tree. The next day morning, the father gets up and he has the water jug in the hand. He wants to pour. There is no tree. He died of a heart attack. So because he sees life as pointless. So the moment you feel that there is no krityam, then it is over for you. So Vishnu always has krityam lined up for the entire creation. And you not only he gives krityam, he also makes sure that they do that krityam. How does he do? As a niyanta, as a person who enforces. So niyanta means enforcer. Niyanta means enforcer. Sarvan sveshu krityeshu vyavasthapayati. The word vyavastha is very important. Vyavastha means he does not come and say, "Hey, did you get up in the morning? I noticed. I saw it in the camera." He won't say that. How he will do? He creates a rule, law, vyavastha. And that vyavastha has got several deities taking care of that vyavastha. Those people will come and get you. Yama, Varuna, Indra, those people will come and get you. That is why the word Vyavasthapayati, he does that Vyavasthapana with several deities. Hence he is called Niyanta. And how does he do this Vyavastha? Niyamaha, with rules. He becomes a Niyanta or ordainer by ordination. The ordination is called Niyamaha. So Niyanta Vishnu becomes by Niyamaha. And that Niyamaha is who? That Niyamaha is also Vishnu. But Shankara does not like the word Niyamaha. So he says Aniyamaha. You cannot set a rule for Vishnu. Vishnu will set a rule for everyone. That's what all these kings they do. The kings will set up rules for everyone. But that rule does not apply for the king. So we are all imitators of Vishnu. Niyamaha niyatihi tasya navidyate. That niyati, niyama, rules, regulations is not available for Vishnu himself. Hence he is aniyamaha. So it can be niyamaha or aniyamaha. Niyamaha means he is dharma, law. Aniyamaha means he does not have any law. He is above law. The next one is Yamaha. Yamaha means Niyanta. Nisheshena Yanta. One who sits inside and controls. So everything, the control system is inside it. Suppose there is a rock. Inside the rock there is a frog. That frog cannot travel outside of the rock, but still it finds food inside. There is some bacteria, something. So even inside the rock there is a setup. That's why he is called Yamaha. Yamaha means one who is inside you as conscience in the form of thinking. Somehow he sits inside you and then controls you. He changes your thoughts, changes the program inside you. That's why he is called as Yamaha. But he himself is Yamaha, Ayamaha. Nobody is sitting inside Vishnu's mind and doing that. That's what he is writing. Sarva niyantuhu niyantra antara abhavat. Sarva niyantuhu. Sarva niyantuhu is Shashti Vibhakti. Niyanta, niyantaro, niyantaraha. Niyantaram, niyantaro, niyantaraha. Niyata, niyatrabhyam, niyatrabhi. Niyatre, niyatrabhya, niyatrabhya. Niyatuhu. Niyatuhu means Panchami. Again, Niyatuhu means Shashti. Of the Niyanta. Of the controller. Niyantra antara abhavat. There is no another controller. That's why he is called as Ayamaha. Aniyamo Ayamaha. He does not have a Yama. He does not have a internal controller. Yamaha means internal controller. That is why he is called as Antaryami. What is the name of Vishnu? Antaryami. Antaryami means Antaha Yamayati. He controls you. Antaha. Ishvaras sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati. Hridayam means what? Not that iota. That is not Hridayam. Hridayam means buddhi. Hridayam means what? The source of your thinking. That is called Hridayam. That is where he sits. That is why he is called Antaryami. There he sits and makes you do things. Nasya vidyate yamaha mrityuhu iti va. Or another thing is, everyone here has got Yamaha. Yamaha means mrityuhu, death. But for Vishnu, there is no mrityu. That is why he is Ayamaha. He does not have son-in-law. He is Ayamaha. They say the son-in-law is the Antaka. They say that. It's like some angry father-in-law's words. Jamata Dashamo Grahaha. That's the verse of an astrologer. He found nine planets. You cannot describe all them, but you can never describe son-in-law. Then, oh, this is the 10th planet. So he is Ayamaha. Athava Yama Niyamu Yogange. So he is changing this Niyama Yama interpretation now. He is saying here Yama and Niyama are Yoganga. Yogi, Yogi, Swareswaraha. We said that earlier. We said that he is Yogi and Yogishwara. One who knows yoga very well. Naturally, he should also know Yama and Niyama. Yama Niyamau Yogange. Why Yogange? Why Niyamau? Because one is Navamstikalinga and one is Pullinga. Pullinga means masculine. Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha. That much Sanskrit you should know. And Navamstikalingam, Phalam, Phale, Phalani. So, Dvivachanam is Phale. Phalam is one banana. Phale is banane. Two bananas. So, Yama and Niyama, both are Pullinga. That's why Yamaha, Yamo, Yamaha, Yamaniyamaha, Yamaniyamo, Yamaniyamaha. Yamaniyamo means Yama and Niyama, two. Yogange, because Angam, Ange, Angani. That is Navamsakam. Like Phalam Phale. That's why Phalam Phale Ange. Yogange means they are both are Angas of yoga. What is yoga? Yoga means Ashtanga Yoga. What you find in YouTube channels all over America. That is called as yoga. And that's why if you practice yoga without Niyama and Yama, then you will be in trouble. So Yama and Niyama is written in fine print by Patanjali. Without Yama and Niyama, if you do pranayama, they won't work. So that's why Yama and Niyama are very important. What is Yama? Basic rules. Basic rules means external. Anything you do with your body. What is Yama? Anything to do with your body. Eating well. In fact, Bhashya Vyasa wrote a commentary on Patanjali. He was a student. But the Guru wrote a commentary on, it's called Vyasa Bhashya. Like Shankara Bhashya, Vyasa Bhashya. And Shankaracharya wrote a commentary on the Vyasa Bhashya. So there he says, Anyuna Anadirikta Vrittar Yoga. Yoga is na nyunam. Nothing should be less or more. Anatiriktam. Nothing should be atiriktam. So everything should be modest. Natyasnatastu yogosti nacheka antamanasnataha nacha adi swapna shilasya yogo bhavati yoga na bhavati. What happens if yoga bhavati? Dukkha. All your dukkham will go away. You're looking for happiness, right? This is the way. But that yoga will not happen without Yama and Niyama. And because Vishnu is Yoga Gamya, that is why he is Niyama and Yama. So when something is the reason for something, you call that thing as that something. It's a very, very broad statement. Like Ayurvai Ghritam. In Ayurveda they say, Ghritam Ayuhu. Ghee is good. Even though it has cholesterol, it is very good for your ayus if taken moderately. Ayurvai Ghritam. So, Ayu Karanatvat. Because it is the cause of Ayuhu, Ghridam itself is called as lifespan. Similarly, Vishnu is the cause of, Niyama and Yama is the cause of attaining Vishnupadam. Hence, Yama and Niyama itself is called as Vishnu. It is called Karane Karya Upacharaha. What is it called? Karane Karya Upacharaha. Calling the Karana itself as Karya because it gets you there. That is why. So because he is the Yoganga, because he is Yama and Niyama, he is attained by Tad Gamyatvat. Yama Niyamo Yogange. Tad Gamyatma means Yama Niyama Rupa Yoganga Gamyatvat. One who is attained by Yama and Niyama, which is the Yoganga. Sayeva Niyamaha Yamaha. He himself is Yama and Niyama. So Yama is basically the external and Niyama is the internal controls. Ahimsa, Satyam, Shaucham, Indriya Nigraha, all that is Niyama. Yama is the basic Brahmacharyam or the control of the gross, the external sense organs is called as Yama. And the controller of the Sukshma Sharira is called as Niyama. And they always say Niyama is more important than Yama. But you will not get Niyama without Yama. So they have.
So they also earlier it came Jnanagamya, now it is Yogagamya.
Yeah. Jnanam is Yogagamya and Vishnu is Jnanagamya. It's very, very hard thinking you have to do.
I'm not getting it.
That's okay. But that's what it is. He is Jnanagamya.
Yeah.
And Jnanam is Yogagamya. See, you want to have yoga union with Jnanam. Why? Because you have Jnanam. Right now you have Jnanam. You want to have, ultimately you want to have union with Vishnu. And Vishnu will get union only if you have Jnanam. And Jnanam you will get only if you have Jnana Yoga. You have to have yoga with Jnanam. Right now you have Ajnanam. How do you get union with Jnanam? By yoga. So that's how you get Jnanam. Through yoga you get Jnanam. I didn't say this. Arurukshor muner yogam karma karanam uchyate yoga rudasya tasyeva shamah karanam uchyate. So first you get him by yoga. First you get Jnanam by yoga. And then by Jnanam you get Atma. Yourself. It's not somewhere else. Vishnu is yourself. That is very important. Otherwise you will become Hare Krishna. Okay. Sattvavan, Sattvika, Satyaha. The next one. So all this Yama, Niyama, all this, how do you get to this point? What is the way? The way is Sattvavan. You have to become Sattva-guna Sampannaha. So that is my commentary. Shankara has a different take. Shankara says Sattva means Balam. Sattva means what? You cannot be weak. All this Yama and Niyama is not got by somebody who is weak. You have to be very strong. You have to work out. To make your mind very strong by Vichara. Not recreation center. Vedanta center. That is where you get the Sattvam. If you do that again and again, the mind becomes extremely strong. That strength of the mind is called Sattvam. Nobody goes and tells the lion that who is the king of the forest. There is no Abhisheka. The fox is not the chief minister. But everybody recognizes when the lion comes. So that is inside the lion's mind. That is called Sattvam. Sattvam is not something gotten by the external sources. It has to come from inside you and it's already there. That is why he is called as Sattvavan. Saurya, Virya, Adikam, Sattvam, Asya, Asti. It is Sattvavan. He is giving a Saguna explanation. So once you have got Sattvam inside you, what is the opposing forces for Sattvam? Tamas. What opposes Sattvam? Tamas, weakness or darkness, ignorance. When you have this Sattvam, you become Sattvikaha. So that is Vishnu. Who is Vishnu? Vishnu is Sattvikaha. 20 minutes if you chant Vishnu Sahasranam, all these qualities will manifest in you. Sattvagunam, if you have to increase, you can do it only by Vishnu Prasada. Because Vishnu is the only Sattva Murti. Why he is the Sattva Murti? There is only one Paramatma, don't forget that. Never. There is only one Ishvara. Ishvara is always one. But when he has pure Sattvaguna, he is called Vishnu. So by devoting to Vishnu, you will get pure Sattvaguna. By chanting Vishnu Sahasranama, you get pure Sattvaguna. That is why he is called as Sattvikaha. Sattve gune pradhanyena sthitaha. Why? Because sometimes he also can have, the Paramatma can also have Tamoguna as Rudra. The Paramatma also can have Rajoguna. Yadas sarvani bhutani bhavantyadi yugagame. When he creates, he takes it with Rajogunam. But when he does Sthiti, Sthiti means teaching. The whole entire creation, what does Vishnu do? He is actually teaching by this danda, by this niyama, by this yama. He is trying to educate the Atma. And for that teaching, you need sattva gunam. If you are slumber, then there is no teaching. Teaching can happen only when there is sattvam. That is why Vishnu is called as Satvikaha. Sattve gune pradhanyena sthitaha. Though all the other gunas are there, they are all subservient to sattva. Itsaha Satvikaha. Swasti prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahishah go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam loka samastas sukhino bhavantu सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग्